Hi guys, welcome to another Divi Theme video. This is Jamie from System 22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Well, in our last video, we showed you how to add a button over any module and put it where you want it with absolute positioning. We had a question, which is a great question. Somebody asked, well, can you do the same thing with an icon? Yeah, you can do exactly the same thing with an icon. In fact, you can do exactly the same thing with any module you want. And I'll show you exactly how if I roll down a little bit here. Here's the same thing. I just added an icon over the top. Absolute positioning. I've got one at the bottom, one in the middle, one bottom right, and one halfway across the bottom of a module here. Really easy to do. No coding involved. So let's get started. I'm going to enable the visual builder. And once enabled, let's roll down to where we want to work. I'll get rid of this section and we'll start from scratch. I'm going to hit the little delete right there. I've got those 4 modules saved as a section in my library. So I'm going to click on the section above, hit the little blue button. I'm going to add a section from library, and here it is, 4 modules. Perfect. So here we have 4 modules, a blurb module, an image, a testimonial, and a number counter right here. We're going to add some little icons over the top. So let's start with our little blurb module here, and if you watched the button video, you know exactly what we're going to do. We're going to do exactly the same thing. I'm going to add a new module. Instead of a button, I'm going to use an icon this time. Roll down, choose the icon that you want. Let's just throw a question mark in. And as usual, if I move this out of the way, it puts the new module just underneath right here. And we want it to be somewhere around the bottom of our module above right here. So we're going to go over to advanced, go roll down to position. I'm going to change it from default to absolute and watch what happens. It's going to jump up on the left hand side. We've got a little matrix here. We can place it wherever we want it within the module. Great thing about absolute positioning, it'll stay there on all devices as well, which is great. I want mine bottom middle, but I want it sort of up here. So if we roll down a little bit, put it basically where you want it on the matrix. I've got a vertical offset here. Let's go up maybe 100 pixels. A little too far. About 80. And we'll make that icon a little bit smaller. We can go to design. Here's the icon right on the top here. Let's make it white in color for fun. And it's 96 pixels. Take it down to about 50. There we go. And that's about where I want that. And of course, you can link these icons to anywhere you want. So when they hover over the icon, it'll link to one place. And you can add a link to the modules to take them somewhere else if you want. To add a link, you'll always find link under content in all modules. So go to content, down the link. Pop in the link where you want to take people. Always best practice, if you're linking to your own site, keep it in the same window. If you're linking off-site to somebody else's site, open it in a new tab. That way your site's going to stay open. Great, well, let's just save that one. There's our first one done. We've got a little button, basically. It's an icon, but it's going to act like a button and take people somewhere. Now for our next one, I thought it'd be nice to have a little eyeball icon or something in the middle of this. Obviously, do your own, use your imagination. We're going to do exactly the same thing. Hit the plus. Again, we're going to grab a little icon. Let's find perhaps an eyeball. Grab the one you want. Again, it's going to pop it down underneath. You know exactly what to do with it. Advanced, position. I'm going to switch it from default to absolute. This time I want my icon right in the middle of our image right here. But that color is not really standing out and it's a little bigger than I want it. So again, we can go to design, icon. It's just convenience, make it white and perhaps a little bit smaller. Again, let's use 50 pixels, so adjust to taste, obviously, and that will stay there. Perfect. And again, if you want to, you can add a link and take people somewhere with it just when they click on the icon and have the car either pop out into a light box, or you can take people anywhere you like with putting a link on that one. Great. Our little testimonial card here, I put a little people icon on the bottom right hand side here. Again, you know exactly what to do. We'll hit the plus. I'm going to grab a little icon here. I think I did a search for person. Yeah, there it was right there. And you know where it's going to place it, right on the bottom there. Like I say, in this particular case, I want mine about there. I'm probably going to leave it about the size it is. So we know how to do that. Advanced, position, absolute. Pop it where we want it, bottom right this time. Now we need to offset it a little bit. From memory, I did 60, I think, and 30. Obviously, adjust yours to taste. So it's 60 vertical and 30 horizontal. That's exactly where I want it. That color actually works quite well. So I'm going to leave it just like that. And again, if you want to add a link to it, that particular just the icon, back to content, put your link in right there. Perfect. Now our last one was a little bit offset. I'll show you a little trick to put a background in so that the central icon doesn't look dark and light. You'll see what I'm talking about in a moment. Let's just add the icon we want here. And again, let's roll down to one that's got the dark background here and perhaps use a check mark or something like that. Perfect. This one, I kind of want it to be a similar blue to this one. I think I've got it in my palette here. Design icon. If we hit the little 3 dots underneath, I believe it's in my palette down here. It was probably that one. Now again, we want to pop it up over. Size-wise, I think I'm going to leave it just like that. But when I pop it up over, position, absolute. If I pop it in the bottom middle, it's almost how we want it. We want it sort of halfway down. So let's take it down just a little bit. And again, you can slide or you can increment up and down. That's about right. Now, what I meant about the background is our little check mark there has got a bit of the picture in it and a bit of the white background. If you want that all one particular color, we can give our icon a background. So let's make it black. Always find background under content, just like link. You'll find it underneath the link right there. I'm going to go ahead and put a black background in there. Now, what that's done, it's put a square background in the back there. You can see the corners up there and the corners down here. Now, obviously, I don't want to see that. Unless you do, that's fine. Leave it just as it is. So to get rid of these corners, really easy fix. If we go over to design, down to our border right here, make sure that's selected. It will be by default, so it'll do all 4 corners at once. We can put a high pixel value up in the rounded corners, perhaps 50. And as you can see, that's rounded that off now, and you can't see those black corners anymore around there. Perfect, just what we want. You can also use percentage, because that will always make things round if they're square initially. If I change that to percent, you won't really see any difference. But that's another way of doing it. That way we got the check mark, the color we want it, we don't have any overspill for the corners, and it's in the position we want it. So we've got all our little modules where we want them now. Let's save this and make sure it's all going to work on the front end. I'm going to save my changes here. Save the page changes, little purple button. And let's exit the Visual Builder. Roll on down to where we were working. There's a version with the buttons. Here's a version with the icons. Here's our first icon. As you can see, it turns to a hand when I hover over it because we put a link in there. Don't think I've got a link on the module. No, fantastic. Same with this one here. We didn't put a link on it, but you could have put a link on that, and we can still pop that out into a light box or take people somewhere with it if we want to. This third one here, we didn't put a link in it, but we added it to our little testimonials slider. It made it look a bit like a business card here. That's kind of nice on the bottom right hand side. And this one here, we offset on the bottom, and we gave it a little different background, and we changed the border radius so it was round in the back so you couldn't see that background color spilling out. We didn't put a link on this one, but again, you can. So I hope that answers that question. Yes, you can do it with icons. You can do it with anything you want. You can do it with images, make them small, pop them over the top of something. Let your imagination go and come up with some great creations. I've just done it very quickly today to demo, but I hope that's been useful to you, showing you where you can put these things and how easy it is to do without coding. So I hope you've enjoyed this today and found it useful. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, ring the bell, comment, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Don't forget, if you have any questions, pop them down below the video. I'll do my best to answer them for you or make a little demo video just like this one. Once again, this has been Jamie from System 22 and we're designingtechtips.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.